sides of a story.
There's both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there's injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life.
My love is warmer than a smile. My love gives to every needing child. If anyone should ask you who's my true love, tell them my love true is ever letting all the love come through. My love sees love with not a face and lives to love through time and space. You're full of everything about my love fits to the tune of you, and you can say that you are my love too. Let my love shine throughout the world, to every mountain top and steeple. Let it be felt by every soul. Dear loves all over. Let it reach out to every heart. Our love sees. Love's the key to peace. We'll break till all world wars have ceased. Should you or anyone you know enough to say they feel as we, and let our universal soul be free. Let our love shine throughout the world, to every mountain top and steeple. Let it be felt by every soul. Till love's all over. 'Cause of love to always see. To reach a ball for love is equal. Let us lift up humanity. Spread love all over. Let our next voices join as one. Filtering through all signs of evil. Through every valley, let them see.
(2021 to 2030) is the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, and the Decade of Action for Road Safety. It's the third day of the 11th month of 2021, the International Year of Peace and Trust, the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables, the International Year for the Elimination of Child Labor, and the International Year of Health and Care Workers. Put another way, it's the third day of the 6th month of the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season. And according to the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, advisories are being issued on Tropical Storm Wanda, located less than 700 miles west of the Azores. Tropical cyclone formation otherwise is not expected during the next 5 days. That's the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, reporting that it's issuing advisories on Tropical Storm Wanda, located less than 700 miles west of the Azores. Tropical cyclone formation otherwise not expected during the next 5 days. Closer to home, Well, the National Meteorological Service tells us that there is no significant rainmaker across the Caribbean at this time, but the trough is still across Jamaica. That trough is expected to remain across the island over the next few days. The forecast for the rest of this afternoon: isolated showers and thunderstorms across sections of hilly areas and western parishes. Elsewhere, partly cloudy. Tonight, becoming fair. With respect to our observances for the month of November, let's tell you that here in Jamaica, we continue to observe the month of November as Science and Technology Month, Youth Month, Parents Month, Local Government and Community Development Month, Diabetes Awareness Month, Epilepsy Awareness Month, Drug Abuse Awareness Month, Food Month, Eat Jamaican Month, Alzheimer's Awareness Month, CARICOM Energy Month. Rastafarians yesterday celebrated the anniversary of the crowning of Haile Selassie. The month of November is also Lung Cancer Awareness Month. There's more in just a moment.
Join Power 106 FM this Thursday, November 4, 2 to 3 p.m. for the closing ceremony of the 7th Regional Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction in the Americas and the Caribbean, on the theme, Building Resilient Economies in the Americas and the Caribbean. The conference is aimed at raising awareness of the challenges facing small island developing states of the Caribbean region and the wider Americas. This broadcast is brought to you by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, 85 Hagley Park Road, Kingston.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15. ATC Freight and Shipping is here for you during this COVID-19 pandemic. Whether you ship commercial cargo, crates, full container loads, less than container loads, barrels, or personal boxes, we can handle. We offer services from China, Canada, Panama, Curacao, and through our agency, we offer worldwide shipping services. Low and competitive rates with professional customer service. Give us a call today. 876-630-1515. ATC Freight, the service professional.
NIS pensioners, early encashment continues. Pension order vouchers with payable dates in November 2021 may be encashed as of Thursday, November 4. Collect all your payments for the month at your convenience. Simply visit your designated post office. Please note, pension vouchers can only be encashed at your post office. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Join Power 106 FM this Thursday, November 4, 2 to 3 p.m. for the closing ceremony of the 7th Regional Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction in the Americas and the Caribbean, on the theme, Building Resilient Economies in the Americas and the Caribbean. The conference is aimed at raising awareness of the challenges facing small island developing states of the Caribbean region and the wider Americas. This broadcast is brought to you by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, 85 Hagley Park Road, Kingston. The following is a public service announcement from Power 106 FM. Jamaica. Each wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, with the added danger of variants, has brought unprecedented pressure on public resources. Our hospitals and healthcare workers at breaking point. Our economy battered, families in mourning, and our children face an uncertain future due to learning loss. In this race against COVID-19, we must stay in it to win it. We must continue using techniques that can help to beat the virus. Follow COVID-19 mitigation measures, including wearing masks, sanitizing, 6 feet of physical distance from others. And on this leg of our relay, we can win with vaccination. These safe and proven vaccines can make the difference against COVID-19. And now that vaccines are in supply, let's get vaccinated so we can get back on track and keep winning. The finish line against COVID-19 is in sight. And with true Jamaican determination, we can all have the victory. Brought to you by your friends at Power 106 FM.
So we ain't giving up now. We put up a fight. We got to be ready. Cause time's getting traded. Just don't you worry. my love give.
It's Arbor Day in Samoa, Bunka no Hi, or Culture Day in Japan, festivity of San Martin de Porres in Peru, Independence Day and Discovery Day in Dominica. It's a national day in Moldova, Independence of Cuenca Day in Ecuador, Independence Day from Colombia, in Panama, Sandwich Day in the USA, and Victory Day in the Maldives. Hoy es miércoles el 3 de noviembre de 2021 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. C'est mercredi le 3 novembre 2021 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Wednesday, the 3rd of November, 2021, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. For those keeping tabs, today is the 307th day of 2021, which means there are 58 days left in the year, 58 days in 2021 left. And for those who celebrate the season, we're 51 days away from Christmas Day. Good afternoon to those listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Morant Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, downloadable from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We thank you if you have dialed one of two numbers to listen to Power 106 FM from the United States and the United Kingdom. Those in the United States who wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM can call 631 359 8281. 631 359 8281. If you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330 606 0953, 0330 606 0953. We're streaming live video on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page and affiliated pages. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook. In the search box atop the page, type DERVANMALCOLM, and you too will be able to not just hear but see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. If you don't have a Facebook account, no sweat, there's always YouTube. Yes, but you need a smartphone or a not so smartphone or a tablet computer or a laptop or a desktop, otherwise known as a PC, personal computer, any one of those. The next step is internet connection. You must have internet service, otherwise you can't go online. If you have the service, the next step is to open a browser like Bing, Safari, Google Chrome, any one of those, and start typing YouTube. The moment you put in the letter Y, chances are the rest of the letters will fall into place and you'll be on the website. If you're doing that right now, you should see this video trending. If you're not seeing it, then in the YouTube search box, type DERVANMALCOLM, and you too will be able to watch both sides of the story on YouTube as you listen on Power 106 FM. What's on your mind this afternoon? The lines are open to you as usual, 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can also call us directly on WhatsApp, and you can call dial direct, the same number, 876-365-3346. Yes, that one number gives you all the options we told you, your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes. You can call us on WhatsApp, and you can call us direct. You can dial direct, 876-365-3346. We started out this afternoon with the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi, a most powerful prayer. And we paired that with My Love, a combination of the remarkable talents of Stevie Wonder and Julio Iglesias. It's a recognition that there is still so much hate in this world. It's just too much. And we have our fair share here in Jamaica, hating each other because of where we live, hating each other because of the political party we support, hating each other because of the school we attend, etc., etc. We have put up so many divisions between us, between each other as Jamaicans, all across the country. And that is not unique to Jamaica. It happens elsewhere in the world. We see it in the Middle East. We see it in a most dichotomous way in the United States of America, Republicans versus Democrats, etc., etc., etc. A lot of divisions in the world. And we really hope some practical solutions are coming out of the COP26 summit, climate change summit in Glasgow, Scotland. Speaking of Glasgow, Dr. Rene Zazou tells us he is somewhere in London. He's calling us now on the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Greetings, Dr. Zazou. It's past your bedtime now. What are you doing up? It's 7:29.
Greetings from London.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, we're 7:29 p.m. in the evening. And as a guy like you who is also a little bit of a multi-language speaker, I'm going to say Tinastalin in the language of Amharic and Ethiopia, where I'm headed in a couple of days. So
that sounds like good night. Tinastalin, is that good night?
Good days. I'm bringing you greetings. Tinastalin in Amharic, the ancient language. We have to remember our languages too. Yeah. The Romance languages are very beautiful.
Yes. You're gonna have to teach us some more about the what's it is it
Amharic.
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 It's the language of Ethiopia.
Right. So you're gonna have to teach us that one.
Sila.
Right.
Now the reason for my call
hate to stop you so soon, but we're on the break. Bear with us, please. Let's take the break and come back to you in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30. Our family and friends are a big part of who we are. And when it comes to keeping you connected to them, Grace Kennedy Money Services Western Union makes it safer and easier. Now friends and family overseas can use the Western Union app or westernunion.com to send money directly to your bank account without leaving home. Receive a Western Union money transfer directly into your bank account with a direct-to-bank service. Register online at gkmsonline.com and share your banking details with your sender so you don't have to leave home to collect.
Ready, set, save big on all your brand name items in the Home and Things Best Brand Sale event. Get the lowest prices on tiles, bathroom fixtures and faucets, laminate flooring, lighting, windows and doors, plus more, even on new arrivals. Shop top brands like American Standard, Moen, Corona, Hunter, and Angel Grace. Visit our showrooms at Old Road Road and Constant Spring Road. The Best Brand Sale event now on at Home and Things. Shop now for the best brands, big value, and even bigger savings.
Join Power 106 FM this Thursday, November 4, 2 to 3 p.m. for the closing ceremony of the 7th Regional Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction in the Americas and the Caribbean on the theme, Building Resilient Economies in the Americas and the Caribbean. The conference is aimed at raising awareness of the challenges facing small island developing states of the Caribbean region and the wider Americas. This broadcast is brought to you by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, 85 Hagley Park Road, Kingston. Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call Wednesday evenings at 8 with Powering Your Health. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and this Wednesday, November 3, we'll discuss the basics of diabetes with Professor Errol Morrison. Learn what patients should know about their medication from Dr. Camille Wilson-Clark. Also tune in for an exciting, healthy conversation with Dr. Jackie as she reflects on the lessons learned from patients, family, and friends. Powering Your Health is brought to you by 6 West Medical, 6 West Street, Old Harbor, St. Catherine, P.A. Benjamin, a trusted name for over a century. The National Health Fund, your partner for healthy living. Jamaica Plumbing Supplies Limited, let's save water. Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Benson Pharmacy, 11 Main Street, A2, Old Harbor. And Daisy Health Technology, monitoring health to blossom. That's Powering Your Health this Wednesday, November 3 at 8 p.m. only on Power 106 FM.
Love through time and space, if full of everything about my life fits to the tune of you, and you can say that you are.
Let's spread the love. Let's share the love. I mean, it was a Jamaican, a great Jamaican who gave the world one love, song of the century, etc., etc. So we know what love is in this country. We need to practice more of it and share it with the rest of the world. We were connecting with Dr. Renee Zazu, who is in London. Please go ahead. Greetings.
Greetings. So I did say to Nastalin because yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to recall in yesterday, but yesterday was the celebration of His Majesty's coronation. His Majesty, of course, being the regent of Ethiopia for a number of years before he sat on the throne of King David. And during his coronation in 1937, he was the first regent to be crowned at the same time as his queen, then Empress Menen.
They're the ones that
took on the title.
That Taurus Riley sings about. I know the king and queen crown same time. Yeah, she's royal.
Yeah. You know, go on, man. That's what's up.
Yes.
It was the first time in history that has ever happened, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
His Majesty changed the whole thing as far as the role of women and in terms of the monarchy. Because historically it happened, and in fact, if you look at the English monarchy, for example, the British monarchy, where Elizabeth is the queen and Philip was the queen's consort. Mm-hmm. He's not the king. He's the queen's consort.
Yes, indeed.
His Majesty, however, said, I am being crowned on the very same day as Empress Menen, and we will stand shoulder to shoulder when we walk instead of slightly behind, as is the custom in the English monarchy. The queen's consort is there to serve the queen, whereas Empress Menen and Emperor Haile Selassie I is Imperial Majesty, who took on the title of the Trinity. He was crowned in his coronation on November 2nd, the very same time as Empress Menen. And that is what Taurus Riley referenced in the song that is very popular. In fact, that was my wedding song.
She's royal.
So, she's royal, yes,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Yes.
No, I never been... No, we can't sing. I know you're a doctor of philosophy and a doctor of biomedicine, but I don't think I have that musical gift that Mr. Riley and others have. But
Yes.
one of the things I wanted to bring today, Dervan, as you permit me, is there was some announcement in recent times of a peace concert that's going to happen in Trenchtown in the coming months. It's December 26th. And what I wanted to think about as we think about His Majesty's coronation and his role as regent of Ethiopia is that he thought it was imperative that the tribes of Ethiopia unite in the fight against Mussolini during the invasion of Ethiopia by Italy. And he implored the world to come together in his address to United Nations.
And there was a Jamaican. I don't know if you're going to get to it, but there was a Jamaican who was right there with him, playing her part. Una Marson.
Exactly.
Yes.
And in fact, what His Majesty has foretold and has prophesied, it is that the unity of Ethiopia would ultimately lead to the unity of Africa. But because of the work of Marcus Garvey in the generation before His Majesty, and of course Bob Marley in the generation following, I believe that with Trenchtown's unity shall come Ethiopian unity and shall come African unity. And you as a guy who reaches the diaspora, you're talking to people in London where I am. We spoke when I was in New York, Connecticut area. And of course, you're based in Jamaica. You are part of the solution, sir. So I want to commend you on the work that you do every day to connect our diaspora people or black people all over the world. And I think this Trenchtown Unity concert, this peace concert, is going to play some small role in the scourge of violence in our community that has really been pervasive.
That community should actually be one of the richest, if not the richest community in Jamaica right now, Trenchtown, with the weight of Bob Marley and the Wailers and all the other world-class musicians, instrumentalists, singers, coming out of that area. That area should be teeming with
people.
people.
Can come out of Trenchtown.
Can you imagine?
However, we know that Bob Marley, the Little Rasta man from Trenchtown, before I took down the moniker of the Little Rasta man from Trenchtown, is known and recognized as one of the greatest of his generation, and all generations, as a matter of fact. He was the artist of the century. His album Exodus was the album of the century. Of the decade, sorry. Well, something of the decade and something of the century. So let me not mix that up. Somebody will research it for me and fact check it. Mm-hmm. But his influence is great today. In fact, I estimate that his estate might be worth in the order of $3 billion.
In fact, he's on the list of the world's highest earning dead celebrities.
Well, right behind Elvis and Michael Jackson.
That's correct. That's correct.
Right. And that is, in some ways, an indication of two things. Because of his ethnicity, he was biracial. He had the ability to talk to both sides. Mm-hmm. And even though he was the best musician in the Wailers, because Bunny Wailer and Peter Tosh were better musicians and singers than Marley, Marley was the one to unite the world around the message of Rastafari and the music of reggae. And all around the world I go. As I talk to you, I'm in London, I'm in Little Addis Ababa and Nairobi, as well as in Kampala in Uganda, in this coming little whirlwind thing I'm doing for my cannabis company, Dr. Z's Cannabis Farms. Those people have welcomed me every single time because they say, welcome Rasta, welcome because of Bob Marley and his message and his music that he spread all over the world. So it is only right that the peace concert and my efforts to bring peace in inner city communities all around the world, whether it be in Cirque du Soleil in Haiti, whether it be in Kibera Slum in Nairobi, in Laventil in Trinidad, in Trenchtown and other inner city communities in Jamaica. This message is important at this time because ultimately our unity within these communities will be a beacon for other communities that are facing some of the same challenges because of the economic situation we find ourselves in as a result of the pandemic and of course of the systemic efforts of the larger nations and multinational organizations like the United Nations, IDB, and World Bank. So, I don't want to take up all your show today, but I wanted to at least send greetings from London and to recognize, as you would have done yesterday, that His Majesty's coronation was the first time the King and Queen crowned same time. So big up to Bridget Taras Riley for sending that message and sharing with those people who may not have known.
Yes. Great. And Raskava was on yesterday talking about the coronation and I think an event that he coordinated or was a part of.
Man, and I think he did a drumming in Montego Bay, I believe, yesterday, last evening. And I'm only sad that I couldn't be in two places at one time because when the Naya Jingy drums roll the bridge, it's a different kind of vibrations, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Because among the Rastafari orders, meaning the 12 tribes and the Bobo Shanti, the Naya Bingi are the ones who play the drums. And boy, it's a vibration.
Yes.
What the young people say, it got a buzz as well. When I'm saying Jamaica now, it have a buzz or something like that.
Well, it have a buzz line was made popular by Peter Bunting, Out and Stunting.
Yes, right. But my reference was to what young people said today, right? So you're on the ground, so you know more than I do as to what is appropriate. But yeah, man. So we give thanks for the opportunity to send these greetings, and Ethiopia waits all its creators. So all of those who want to come to Ethiopia and to Africa, know that Africa remains an opportunity for you guys. It is still largely untapped. It is still largely full of vibrance, natural resources, and with Western capital, like some of you may bring as investors and people who are leaving behind some of the trappings of your roles here in the West, you will be welcomed in a place like Shashamani in Ethiopia, where we have a school for the past 14 years now, since 2005. I've been doing quite a bit of work in that area.
Good.
Bless and love.
Yes, man. Thank you, and safe journey as you move across the continents.
See you. But don't forget, December 26th, Trenchtown Rocks. You can go on our social media pages and whatever to find us, and we'll have chance for people to win tickets because it's a free concert. It's a peace concert, and it's a free concert. You only need to be vaccinated to be able to get in and show your card and your ID, and that's it.
Sounds like a plan.
Blessings.
Take care. All the best. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. That was Dr. Rene Zazou in London, sharing with us. Let's go to the break and come back with more in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45. Join Power 106 FM this Thursday, November 4, 2 to 3 p.m. for the closing ceremony of the 7th Regional Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction in the Americas and the Caribbean, under the theme, Building Resilient Economies in the Americas and the Caribbean. The conference is aimed at raising awareness of the challenges facing small island developing states of the Caribbean region and the wider Americas. This broadcast is brought to you by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, 85 Hagley Park Road, Kingston. Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call Wednesday evenings at 8 with Powering Your Health. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and this Wednesday, November 3, we'll discuss the basics of diabetes with Professor Errol Morrison. Learn what patients should know about their medication from Dr. Camille Wilson-Clark. Also tune in for an exciting, healthy conversation with Dr. Jackie as she reflects on the lessons learned from patients, family, and friends. Powering Your Health is brought to you by 6 West Medical, 6 West Street, Old Harbor, St. Catherine, P.A. Benjamin, a trusted name for over a century. The National Health Fund, your partner for healthy living. Jamaica Plumbing Supplies Limited, let's save water. Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Benson Pharmacy, 11 Main Street, A2, Old Harbor. And Daisy Health Technology, monitoring health to blossom. That's Powering Your Health this Wednesday, November 3 at 8 p.m. only on Power 106 FM.
Through time and space, full of everything about my life, fits to the tune of you. And you can say that you are my love too. Let my love shine throughout the world, to every mountain top and steeple. Let it be felt by every soul.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Thank you so much for staying with us. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're just tuning in, hello to all those who have already messaged us on Facebook Live and YouTube. Let's take a look at YouTube. Kamisha Kin is on YouTube. On Facebook Live, we have Nicola in Mandeville, Manchester. Oops, technically speaking, that's not correct. She is, let's just say she is somewhere in central Jamaica. We'll say that for the time being. Buenas tardes, senora. Or if you prefer, Nicola, we could say Buenas tardes, senorita. Faye Weller, good afternoon to you. Good to have you on board. Thank you very much for joining us. Beautiful words of wisdom, says Faye Weller. Amen. In reference to the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. Velta Wilson out of St. Thomas says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm, and listeners at home and abroad. Hope all is well. We hope the same for you too, and yours, Velta Wilson. Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine, always on board. Norman Hines in St. Thomas, good afternoon. Leotine Bryan, good afternoon. Thank you very much for tuning in. Audrey Smith says, afternoon, Dervan and listeners everywhere. Listening from Southampton. Welcome to you and all the other Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica in Southampton. Audrey Smith. Inez Iona Campbell, good afternoon in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Elroy says, good morning, Teach. Happy Wednesday. Maybe it's still morning where you are, Elroy, but it's afternoon where we are right here in Jamaica. Good afternoon to you, Elroy, and thank you very much for tuning in. Sophia Nemad from Newell in St. Elizabeth. Welcome, Sophia Nemad. Paul Campbell is tuned in. No, not the actor of international repute, Paul Campbell, but a Paul Campbell nonetheless. Good afternoon, Paul Campbell. Patricia Barnes, greetings. Good to have you on board. Jeannie Chambers, good afternoon to you. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go across to the WhatsApp number and see who's messaging us. Hello, Dervan. Good afternoon. How much would it cost for you to promote this for me? Well, that sounds like we need to put you on to one of our sales reps. You seem to be promoting renewable energy from what we are seeing here. Yeah, that's easy. We can share your message with a member of our sales team. How about that? To the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir, I know that, but thanks for the reminder still,
Welcome.
Yeah, it's good to hear the doctor. And it prompted me now to even try to send a message to the government that time and time again, them take away the herb from people who trying to send it abroad to earn some foreign exchange.
And trying to do so legally.
I don't know by what means, but it will be earning some foreign exchange.
Well, we clearly know where you stand on that matter. Go ahead.
Right. So I'm saying that the government should allow the herb farmers to be enlisted under in the Ministry of Agriculture. Give them the ID, let them go to RADA and get an ID under a farmer's ID, regularize the herb that it can be sent abroad and the country earn foreign exchange, rather than going to the people in farm who are not criminals, chopping down the herb, chopping down their food that they plant along with it and burn it. That's wasting of people's time and effort and resources. So a lot of Canada will take all the herb that Jamaica produces. Give people license to plant the herb and open up another channel that it has become another agricultural product that can be exported and the country earn money. Yet they're charging thousands of US dollars to give a license. And it was only the privileged few of people in Jamaica that license is granted to because only them can afford it. So my plea today is that give the land to the idle hands and let the herb be another product of Jamaica which cultivate the best herb and let it be done legally and that the country can earn money and the government get them tax from it. And the farmers, children can go to school and we can be able to buy a tablet and the children would be able to be online because they could afford a Wi-Fi in their house. So hopefully some of them who listen to this program will even look into that. What do you think?
Well, it has started. It started with the decriminalization, that bill that was, I believe, tabled by Mark Golding, who is now the opposition leader. What was problematic about it back then was that they the rollout was not effectively managed or executed at all. In fact, there was no rollout, which would prepare the public for that for this new dispensation, and at the same time increase public education, public awareness among the youths in particular, in terms of the use of the herb, etc., etc. So they failed miserably on that count, but they would have helped to some people to clean their records with the passage of the legislation that facilitated the decriminalization of certain quantities of marijuana.
Yeah, because they allow 2 ounces that you can travel around with, and you are able to plant 5 trees in and around your yard.
Yes.
However, people's record are still there. And the herb is the healing of the nation. I'm not here promoting smoking of the herb because your lungs are not designed to accommodate any smoke of tar. Whether butch, paper, cigarette, herb, or no smoke, your lungs ain't designed to accommodate that. If you have to use fire on the herb, you use a steam chalice, but no smoke comes out of it.
Well, not too much information, Raskava. This is family time. Children are listening. We don't want to give them ideas.
But if you don't, them are going to smoke split one that.
No, we don't want them to smoke at all.
Right. So I'm telling them not to put no smoke in their lungs.
Right.
Right. So, the bigger picture is that it's time for the government to free up the herb that it can be added to the Ministry of Agriculture list as a product of Jamaica and export it, that the country can earn money and small farmers can live a fairly good life just like anybody else, provide for them family and build a house.
Yes.
Give thanks.
Thank you. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Here's Miss Needham on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Miss Needham, good afternoon.
I want to talk to you about something off the air.
Well, you obviously would have to catch me off air because I'm on air now, Miss Needham.
So what time should I call you back, Mr. Malcolm?
The program ends at 5. Program ends at 5.
So I'll call you back after 5, Mr. Malcolm.
Please do.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Take care.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Malcolm.
Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-365-3346. That's the text line, the WhatsApp number. You can call us on WhatsApp. You can call us direct. And there is also, we also have the regular call-in lines, 876-922-4112-5. This looks like Reverend Iselin Parkinson calling us on the WhatsApp line. Reverend Parkinson, is that you?
Yes, it is. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm giving thanks for life. And you?
Good. Same here. I want to talk about the Student Loan Bureau.
Yes.
I know of youngsters who are having challenges from the West here. I don't know if you're aware, when they take things there, like their documents, normally they just take them, place them in a box. And then you don't hear from them again until maybe 3-4 weeks. So if things are not right with the document, you don't know. I know several youths who are having the same problem. And you just keep sending the document and just keep telling you to sending you within another 3 or 4 weeks. They call it, they send you a text to say you need to send back these documents. And it is costly to travel to Kingston. I'm wondering why is it that they can't have an office in Montego Bay? Can you find that out for us, please?
It sounds like you might need to lobby your member of parliament or your councillor in that area, or the Students' Loan Bureau itself, to consider setting up an office in the West.
In the West, it's really needed.
Yes, you need. I believe also you need some representation at the highest level. It needs the concern needs to be taken to the highest level. I think it falls under the Finance Ministry, I believe. I think the Students' Loan Bureau falls under the Ministry of Finance and Public Service. So a formal letter to the Finance Minister, copied to the Education Minister. And as I said, some kind of a lobbying. Speak with I think people like Homer Davis, who would have the best interest of the West to heart as far as his position goes. Would be a useful mouthpiece, so to speak, for those students who are not being fully taken care of by virtue of current conditions. Can you hold a moment, please? One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock. It continues to be all smiles at Wellington Dental. We offer dental care for the entire family, including cleaning, filling, whitening, and other dental services. There's wheelchair access and an exciting play area for the children. Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Telephone 876-984-5482 or 876-749-3515.
Living in the positive. Power Talk on Power 106 FM, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk, taking talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale on Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskett from Wednesday to Friday as they provide riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for innovative features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's the powerful pair, Dr. Herbert Gale and Simon Croskill on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays, right here on Power 106 FM.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. So a suggestion, as we said, that you could get together with those being negatively impacted by the non-existence of an office representing the Students' Loan Bureau in the West. So you would perhaps get the youth leaders on board as well, those who are in the leadership of the National Secondary School Students' Council, and also those at the tertiary level who we know we have the tertiary institutions in the West, University of the West Indies, I think UTEC as well, etc., and others. Get all of those to sign, to be signatories to this document, to say it is time for the people in the West, the students, those who are pursuing studies but lacking financing. It's time for them to have a branch, an arm, some kind of representative or representation of the Students' Loan Bureau in the West. And you've started that. You've sparked that fire right now. You've started it. And it's just a matter of mobilizing more people to come on board and get the lobbying going. After all, there is the Office of the Prime Minister has a Western branch. There's a branch of the Office of the Prime Minister. Yes.
Exactly.
Right.
The Overseas Exam Office, there's a branch in Montego Bay.
There you go.
So I don't see why we can't have an office of the Student Loan Bureau in Montego Bay.
Yeah.
I thank you for your advice, and I will surely follow it up.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All the best, Reverend Iselin Parkinson in the West, championing the cause of the West. We've put it in that manner just to say it requires a collective approach. All the stakeholders in the West, the key stakeholders in the West must get together with Reverend Iselin Parkinson and get the lobbying going for a Western arm of the Students' Loan Bureau. Serious business. This is not a joke. It obviously is needed based on the experience and the experiences being shared with us through Reverend Iselin Parkinson. That's what citizenship action is about. That's what is expected of us. And we hope, I don't think the finance minister is back from Glasgow, Scotland just yet, but that needs to be, would be good for him to come back to a letter on his desk calling for a Western arm of the Students' Loan Bureau. And the education minister needs to be on board for that, as well as we said, the members of parliament and councillors in the Western region should bring the weight of their offices to bear on the plight of the students in the West. Please keep us posted, Reverend Iselin Parkinson. Please update us as we go along. See, aren't we now building or looking to build a children's hospital in the West? What's the status of that? I need to update myself. In the meantime, Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Happy Wednesday to you and your listeners. I'm extremely saddened by the news of that retired teacher and justice of the peace and her sister who were brutally murdered in Old Harbor some days ago after serving her country as a teacher for a number of years, retired and still continuing to serve her country as a JP. This is the thanks that is handed down to her as a JP. Myself, I'm really hurting. I just want to say to my colleague JPs, don't be dismayed. Continue to make a difference in your communities. My sincere condolences to the family of these two ladies. Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary. Thank you, Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary. The circumstances notwithstanding, condolences are in order. We have a string of messages coming from a UK number. Wonder who this is. Let's take a look. Someone called James. And there are some links which we obviously will have to check on our own before making any part of it public. But thank you for sharing nonetheless. James, let's make that adjustment to the contact number. James, if you're listening, we'll see if we can go through these stories before and then follow up. Thank you very much. Mark in East London says, bless up yourself, Sir Malcolm. Listening to you from Upton Park in East London. Blessing to all in the world who are listening to you. Blessing to you too, Mark in East London. More precisely, Upton Park in East London. Thanks for tuning in. Blessed child, greeting us en français. Bon après-midi. Bon après-midi à toi aussi. Merci beaucoup. Raskava wants us to play something. We'll have to preview it off air first, Raskava. And let's see. Let's see. Right. So we've got that. Let's move now to the text line. And who is this? This says, "Good day, government. We need to start giving the fight against crime as much focus as planning as much focus and planning as is being given to fighting COVID-19. We have not been taking this crime monster seriously. It's been taking too long to get this fight against crime in Jamaica under some control. With each change of government, the problem seems to be escalating instead of decreasing. We have too many monsters in this land. We need to do more in fighting crime." Yes, indeed. It's a topic we have discussed ad nauseum over the years. The fact that we have never really treated crime, or let's say we've never treated crime as a national crisis. Yeah, that's so. I understand the reference to COVID-19. I get the idea of what you're saying in terms of the sense of urgency and the bringing to bear on the situation all the key stakeholders and decision makers, and just doing what is necessary and in the best interest of Jamaica and Jamaicans to enhance public safety and security. We have a special guest waiting in the wings, and we ask you to stand by for our guest coming up in just a moment as we look at a scholarship named in honor of one with whom members of the RGR Gleaner Communications Group would have interacted with and engaged one way or another at some point, and a deserving tribute by creating this scholarship in his honor. We're talking about the late Honorable Oliver Clark, OJ, former chairman of the RGR Gleaner Communications Group, and also a principal in the firm in the Jamaica National Group, the JN Group. And so we're going to make that connection in just a moment. Just a moment. So the story is that the Jamaica National Group, through the JN Foundation, is inviting applications for the Oliver F. Clark Scholarship, valued at 2 million Jamaican dollars, to pursue postgraduate studies in the field of leadership and governance. And joining us to tell us more about the Oliver F. Clark Graduate Scholarship, valued at $2 million. To tell us more, we're joined by our guest in this segment this afternoon, Chevenise Peters. Good afternoon, Chevenise Peters. How are you?
Good afternoon. I am well. I am well and safe. So
That
it's
is
a good day.
important. Yes, indeed. Once you're safe and sound, as they say, it's a good day. Can you remind us, and we don't want to take it for granted, that everybody listening to us is familiar with the late Oliver F. Clark. Could you remind those of us who know and enlighten those who don't of this great Jamaican?
So Oliver F. Clark was a national, I would say, national treasure, a stalwart in the business community and also in nation building. And he led us at the JN Group for several years. And he was also an integral part of the RJ Communications Group. So he left a legacy of good governance, leadership, and also developing the nation. And we wanted to carry that out as part of his legacy through this scholarship.
Right. Well, let's thank you very much for laying the foundation. After the break, we're going to build on that and talk about the nature and extent of the scholarship being offered. One moment, please, Chevenese.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15. It continues to be all smiles at Wellington Dental. We offer dental care for the entire family, including cleaning, filling, whitening, and other dental services. There's wheelchair access and an exciting play area for the children. Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Telephone 876-984-5482 or 876-749-3515.
In the positive. Power Talk on Power 106 FM, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk, taking talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale on Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Crosskill from Wednesday to Friday as they provide riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for innovative features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's the powerful pair, Dr. Herbert Gale and Simon Crosskill on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays, right here on Power 106 FM.
Chevenese Peters is program coordinator at JN Foundation. She has been giving us the details of the Oliver F. Clark Graduate Scholarship. Applications are now open. JN Foundation inviting applications for the Honorable Oliver F. Clark Graduate Scholarship. Listen up, who knows? You could very well be in line to benefit from this scholarship. Let's talk about the scholarship now, please, Chevenese Peters. What's the target market?
The target is anyone who is studying in fields having to do with leadership, governance, and or public administration. So you must be either just applied for or have started the courses in either or all of those fields at the master's or doctorate level.
And you started accepting applications when, and when will applications close?
So applications were open on the 19th, which is happens to be also Mr. Clark's birthday. Oh. And open on the 19th, and we originally had a deadline that is fast approaching that we have now extended to November 12th. So the deadline is November 12th.
Right, November 12th. So those who are pursuing postgraduate studies in the field of leadership and governance, if you are pursuing postgraduate studies in the field of leadership and governance, or if you know of anyone, whether in your family or a friend, colleague, whoever, here is an opportunity for that individual to vie for the Oliver F.C. Clark graduate scholarship.
And in this case, they can be attending at any accredited university here or abroad.
Oh, yes, indeed, because Mr. Clark's work straddled both Jamaica and the diaspora.
Definitely,
Yes.
definitely. So as long as you're a Jamaican, but you have chosen to study outside of Jamaica, that's fine. You can still apply.
And you did say whether you are about to apply or you plan to apply or you are already in the program. What does that mean for the funding? Is it just funding 1 year?
Definitely not. So it's up to 2 million, and that usually covers most of the course, if not all of the tuition costs for those programs. So that is our intent, to cover all of the tuition costs, if not most of it.
Remind us when this scholarship fund was established, please.
It was established last year, so in 2020, and we will be doing it for 3 years. So we're actually in the second year. So our first recipient was Russell Barrett, and he is at the UWL, currently going after his master's degree. I'm not remembering the exact course, but he is our first recipient, a wonderful, brilliant young man, a leader in his field. He's in the field of procurement with the, don't quote me, I think it's a Southern Regional Health Authority.
You are correct. It's a Southern Regional Health Authority. Yes.
Brilliant young man. So he was our first recipient, and we're looking for somebody to rival or equal his quality, that quality that he brought to the program, to the scholarship.
Yes. And going forward, you said for 3 years. So there's.
So next year will be the final year, and then we rethink, because we're not going to just stop. Remember that John is always giving scholarships. So at that time we'll rethink how we want to carry on Mr. Clark's legacy.
Mm-hmm. And what can you tell us with respect to the kind of connection once you've identified a student or a candidate for the scholarship? What's that? How does that relationship between the student and JN Foundation evolve? Is it just okay? Here's the check.
Definitely not. So what happens is that, and this is what we're aiming to do with all our scholarship recipients. We want to infuse them into the Jordan family. We want them to know that this is the money that they're receiving, and the money isn't actually paid to them, it's paid to the institutions though. But the tuition that they have received, it doesn't stop there. There are other benefits to be had from being a part of the Jordan family. We have a lot of mentorship resources and a lot of opportunities that come out of just being affiliated with JN. So we want them to be open to all of that, as well as we do look for opportunities to have our scholarship recipients involved in some of our corporate social responsibility efforts.
Speaking of involvement, is the Clark family usually expected to put forward a representative, a family member, maybe on occasion of making a presentation or some other occasion, so that the family knows of the students who are benefiting from the legacy of the late Oliver Clark?
while his family is aware, at the moment that is not in place. It may come into play, but at the moment that is not in place because the scholarship, we consider ourselves his family as well. I understand they're talking about his blood family.
Right.
But through our leader, Mr. Jarrett, who has been hands-on, and also the chairman of the foundation, Mr. Paris Leroy Sr., they have been very hands-on in terms of, knowing who the recipients of this scholarship are, who they are, and how they are selected. And we take it from there.
Speaking of taking it from there, for those listening to us now who are indeed pursuing postgraduate studies in the field of leadership and governance, or are planning to pursue postgraduate studies in the field of leadership and governance, who would love to benefit from this $2 million Oliver F. Clark scholarship, what do they need to do right now, considering the deadline is the 12th of November, the extended deadline?
Okay, so everything is online. The application is online. So the criteria is that you must have been accepted into the course, so you're able to present your acceptance letter, number one. If you are already enrolled, you must be able to give us some sort of transcript to say that you are already enrolled. Those are two different things. You can be accepted and you haven't been enrolled, right?
Yes.
So you must be able to present that. Now the application is online. Before I go there, another criteria is that you must have a relationship with JN. It's a JN company. We have several companies, JN Money, JAA, General Insurance, JN Life Insurance, JN Bank. We have several companies in JN Group. We just want to know that you've had a relationship with one of our companies, or one or more of our companies, right? So on to the application. Everything is online. Visit www.jnfoundation.com and you will see where you can apply for the Oliver S. Clark Scholarship. You can also follow our social media and get the direct link to the application. So on Instagram it's at Jane Foundation, and on our Facebook page you just search Jane Foundation, and it's quick and easy as that. You'll see the information, you'll see an introduction, and then it will take you to the application, and the application is fully automated.
Nice. Great. Well, we would love to hear, once a decision is made, would love to hear who will walk away with the Oliver F. Clark Scholarship, valued at $2 million to pursue postgraduate studies in the field of leadership and governance. Once that information is available and ready for public consumption, please share with us.
We will.
All right. Well, thank you so much for all the information you've shared this afternoon with respect to the Oliver F. Clark Graduate Scholarship. Thanks again.
Can I leave an email just in case?
Oh, sure.
So you can get us, you can reach us at foundation@jngroup.com. If you have any queries at all, just send us an email, foundation@jngroup.com.
Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Thank you so much, Chevenise Peters. All the very best to you and the team at JN Foundation, and by extension, the entire JN family.
And your family.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care. Chevenise Peters, Program Coordinator at JN Foundation, telling us all you need to know about the Oliver F. Clark Graduate Scholarship to pursue postgraduate studies in the field of leadership and governance, to the tune of $2 million Jamaican dollars. And the extended deadline is November 12th. Extended deadline, November 12th. The late Oliver Clark left us on the 16th of May last year, the 16th of May, 2020. He was instrumental in the transformation of the local building society movement by encouraging the expansion of building societies from parish-based entities into urban organizations while maintaining their strong mandate to serve their members. As we mentioned earlier on, he was the chairman of the board of directors of the Jamaica National Group, and uh, chairman of the Argentina Communications Group, quite a media mogul and a businessman, and one who enjoyed a lot of respect on both sides of the political, I don't want to call it divide, goodness, both sides of the political sphere. How about that? Great. Speaking of politics, we have some news coming out of the United States. If you missed it, remember we did preview this. We did carry the story of the Jamaican who would be running for the position of lieutenant governor for the state of Virginia. And guess what? If you remember that, she won. That's the news. She won. Another Jamaican demonstrating that no matter where in the world we go, no matter where in the world we are going to germinate, to borrow that Afro. Come back to that. One moment, please.
You contribute directly to Jamaica's national development when you pay your customs duties. Let's all do our part in keeping the wheels of our economy turning. The time of the Jamaica Customs Agency is 8:30. The following is a public service announcement from Power 106 FM. Jamaica. Each wave of the COVID-19 pandemic with the added danger of variants has brought unprecedented pressure on public resources. Our hospitals and healthcare workers at breaking point. Our economy battered, families in mourning, and our children face an uncertain future due to learning loss. In this race against COVID-19, we must stay in it to win it. We must continue using techniques that can help to beat the virus. Full COVID-19 mitigation measures, including wearing masks, sanitizing, 6 feet of physical distance from others, and all of this leg of our way, we can win with vaccination. These safe and proven vaccines can make the difference against COVID-19. And now that vaccines are in supply, let's get vaccinated so we can get back on track and keep winning. The finish line against COVID-19 is in sight, and with true Jamaican determination, we can all have the victory. Brought to you by your friends at Power 106 FM.
So we ain't giving up, no. We put up a party, got to be ready, 'cause God is ready. Just stand up, you world. My love is warmer than a smile. My love gives to every needing child. If anyone should ask you who's my true love, tell them I love you. Is ever letting know that love come through. My love.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112. 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. What an impressive timeline for this great Jamaican. We told you about her some weeks ago. Was it one or two weeks ago? We told you that she was running, and you know that's something we do well in Jamaica, right? Running, literally and figuratively. And so the headlines splashing all over the world. Let's see if we can share a couple of them with you. Her name is Winsome Sears, S-E-A-R-S, Winsome Sears. And what do you expect with a name like Winsome? Well, we know we win some and we lose some, but this is extra special. Sears becomes Virginia's first female lieutenant governor. Now, that word lieutenant, it's in English, and since we follow the English, we say lieutenant. Even when we're looking at a word spelled L-I-E-U-T-E-N-A-N-T. So the Americans say lieutenant, the English say lieutenant. So if you're in Jamaica and you're dealing with those matters and speaking in reference to those matters, you wouldn't say lieutenant, you say lieutenant. If you're American or if you are within the American sphere, the American space, then you can say lieutenant. But here in Jamaica, lieutenant is lieutenant. Yes, and so it is in the UK as well and elsewhere. So Sears becomes Virginia's first female, for American purposes, lieutenant governor, for otherwise lieutenant governor. Anyway, so the story is Republican Wilson Sears, who returned to Virginia politics after an absence of nearly 2 decades, has become the first female lieutenant governor and the first woman of color to win statewide office in Virginia. Sears defeated Democrat Hala Ayala, H-A-L-A, Hala Ayala, A-Y-A-L-A, in yesterday's election. Ayala also would have been the first woman of color to hold statewide office if she had won. The Republican rocketed out of political obscurity earlier this year when she won the GOP nomination on the strength of a campaign photo in which she posed holding a military rifle. A former Marine, Sears had a brief stint in electoral politics 20 years ago as a one-term delegate in the General Assembly representing parts of Hampton Roads. Her return to politics after a 2-decade absence began when she served as national chairperson for Black Americans to re-elect President Trump. Sears will succeed Democrat Justin Fairfax, who unsuccessfully ran for governor. The marquee election Tuesday was the gubernatorial race, with Republican candidate Gary Yukon winning, defeating former Democratic Governor Terry McAuliffe. But let's get back to Sears. She is Jamaican. Whether you're a Jamaican who supports the Republican Party or not, this is one of us. This is one of ours. This is one of ours. Marine veteran Winsome Sears. There's a bit of a timeline on her sojourn. In November 2001, Winsome Sears upset 20-year Democratic incumbent William P. B. Robinson Jr. while running for the 90th district seat in Virginia's House of Delegates. 2004, she ran unsuccessfully for the United States House of Representatives from Virginia's 3rd Congressional District. And then in September 2018, Sears entered the race for U.S. Senate as a write-in alternative to Republican candidate Corey Stewart. On the 11th of May 2021, she won the Republican nomination for Lieutenant Governor of Virginia on the 5th ballot, defeating second-place finisher Tim Hugo, 54-46. That's Tootsie's number, isn't it? 54-46. That's my number. Let's see. So, of course, as we said, this let's give you some more. Winsome Earl Sears. Winsome Earl Sears. is an American politician who is the lieutenant governor-elect of Virginia, a Republican. Sears served as a member of the Virginia House of Delegates from 2002 to 2004. We told you about that already. Let's jump over that and go to the fact that Sears, as we said, has become the first woman, black woman, and first woman of Jamaican origin. So the first woman, the first woman, first black woman, and first woman of Jamaican origin to be elected to a statewide office in Virginia. Wilson Earl Sears was born right here in Kingston, Jamaica, and immigrated to the United States at the age of 6. Her father arrived in the United States with just $1.75 and took any job he could find while also continuing his education. She grew up in the Bronx, New York City. She served as an electrician in the United States Marines. Sears earned an AA from Tidewater Community College, a BA in English with a minor in economics from Old Dominion University, and an MA in organizational leadership from Regent University. And you can Google her. She's all over the internet. All over the internet. Congratulations to her. All the best to her family. Another Jamaican. I mean, we're good like that. We're good like that, which is why it is so disconcerting and discombobulating for some of us when, as Jamaicans, we go off track, to put it mildly. So we celebrate Winsome Earl Sears. Jennifer Stewart from Q Road in Kilncott, East Central, St. Andrew. Good afternoon to you, Jennifer Stewart. Thanks for tuning in. Judy Brown says, hello all. Where's Judy again? Judy's in Atlanta, Georgia, and becoming one of our regular listeners and viewers. Good to have you on board, Judy. Well done, well done. Judy did a remarkable job on Saturday evening. It was the Calabar Old Boys Association Atlanta chapter. Masterful job in terms of the live streaming and the production involved in that. Well done, Judy and her spouse and the other members of the team. Good afternoon, Nicola in Mandeville, Manchester. C.A. Clark. Yeah, what we just did, C.A. Clark says, please recognize Jamaican-born Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, Winsome Sears, who won her election, breaking a lot of the typical firsts. And we're happy to have obliged C.A. Clark. Thank you. Jacqueline Simmons, good afternoon and blessings to you. Inez Alona Campbell says, Sir Dervan, not sounding clear as before. I don't know what happened. I think the battery is what's happening here. It's getting dim. That's what is happening. Let's see if we can check it ourselves. Yeah, that's what is happening. That's what is happening. Let's see if we can try something here. Something with these devices. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. We're trying to. And we normally travel with a spare. Let's see. Where's the spare? All right, I think we have a bit of it. No? Is it? No. Sorry about that, listeners. Trying to make a change here. All right, I think we have it now. All right, let's see if it will stay until 5 o'clock, or if we could get. All right, let's see if we can get a battery from the engineering department to change that. In the meantime, let's continue with more. Inez Iona Campbell says, sounding better now. We'll have to change. It's the battery. It's the battery. The light is dimming, and that's always an indication. Sorry about that. We'll see if we can fix that in the commercial break. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. There's more after the break.
Our love sings, love's the key.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45. Let's face it, these haven't been the best of times, but they aren't the worst of times either. At COK, we recognize that some of our members are finding it challenging navigating the new normal. But that's why we have initiated the COK Debt Amnesty. If you're having difficulties repaying your loans, come in, talk with us, get a waiver of up to 100% of the penalties due. Call 764-1509 or email amnesty@cokcu.com. Conditions apply.
Ready, set, save big on all your brand name items in the Woman Things Best Brand Sale event. Get the lowest prices on tiles, bathroom fixtures and faucets, laminate flooring, lighting, windows and doors, plus more, even on new arrivals. Shop top brands like American Standard, Moen, Corona, Hunter, and Angel Grace. Visit our showrooms at Old Road Road and Constant Spring Road. The best brand sale event now on at Woman Things. Shop now for the best brands, big value, and even bigger savings.
Living in the positive. Power Talk on Power 106 FM, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk, taking talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale on Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Crosskill from Wednesday to Friday as they provide riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for innovative features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's the powerful pair, Dr. Herbert Gale and Simon Crosskill on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays, right here on Power 106 FM.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Right. Someone going by the moniker Negro Aroused says, at both sides 106, congrats to Winsome Sears. I must say, though, that blacks being expected to vote Democrat have very, very valid reasons. I too despise LGBT agenda, government dependence, and pro-choice position, but I despise the evil of the Republican Party even more. They're that bad. Thank you very much, Negro Aroused, for your tweet. Thank you for your tweet. The effective point that we always make on this program when it comes to choosing a side. There's a line in the Rally Round the West Indies song that says, soon we must take a side or be lost in the rubble in a divided world that don't need islands no more. Are we doomed forever to be at somebody's mercy? Little keys can open up mighty doors. Yeah, those are lines from the West Indies anthem. Well, it didn't start out as an anthem. It later became an anthem. Rally round the West Indies. So that line, soon we must take a side or be lost in the rubble. So our position has always been that people are free to support any political party that they choose to support. You're free to support whatever political party. Even if people of your ilk are not expected to support that particular political party, that is what makes the world such a wonderful place. It's a beautiful place. We have choices, we have options. We are not a homogeneous people, meaning we are not all the same. We don't think alike. We don't do things the same way. I have certain peculiarities in terms of how I do what I do. You have your own peculiarities, etc. That is the idea. So people are free to support whichever political party they choose to support. People should not feel compelled because everybody is saying you shouldn't support that party. People are free. I might have my reason why I support this party as opposed to that party, and vice versa. We need to exercise a greater level of tolerance in more ways than one when it comes on. And I go back to the centenarian who I had the pleasure of interviewing on WOKB 1180 AM a couple Saturdays ago. He said, be careful how you try to make everybody the same or try to present everybody as the same, because we have our own fingerprints. We have unique fingerprints. We're all not going to sing the same way. We're not all going to sound the same way. We're not all going to run the same way. We're not all going to walk the same way. We have certain peculiarities. And my philosophy in dealing with people is straightforward. The best way to deal with people is to identify where they are and act accordingly. That's it. Identify where they are and act accordingly. How are we going to identify where they are? By seeking first to understand, then to be understood. Put another way, by seeking first to understand than to be understood. That's how we identify where people are. So if we can meet them partway or go all the way with them, again, it depends on the level of reciprocity in that relationship. like carry go bring come, not in the form of the song explicitly, but from the standpoint of uh, of uh, of one, from one to the other, from one to the other, that kind of thing. So the best way to deal with people is to identify where they are and then act accordingly. Identify where they are. How do we identify where they are? By seeking first to understand than to be understood. Put another way, seeking first to understand, then to be understood. How about that? Thank you very much. That was a message, right? How did we get here? Right, that was the tweet from Negro Aroused on Twitter at both sides 106. Thanks for your participation, Negro Aroused. All the best, Negro Aroused. There is something Negro Aroused. That's a poem we did that poem in festival, the JCDC's Festival of the Performing Arts. Negro Aroused. Can I remember the words? Negro Aroused. Awake from your slumber. Was that it? Negro. Trying to remember the words of that poem. It was a long time ago. It should be in one of the anthologies. Negro Aroused by George Campbell. Is this it? Let's see. Let's see if this is it. Where is it? Negro Aroused, George Campbell. Yeah. I'm not seeing the actual poem, but that's the. Let's see if we can try again. Negro Aroused by George Campbell. Yeah, we remember reciting that in school. And normally, let's see. Where is it? All right, we'll have to find it in one of the anthologies. We'll have to find it. And of course, there is that work of art, downtown Kingston on the waterfront, which carries the same the name, Negro Aroused. That was done by Edna Manley. That's on the waterfront in downtown Kingston. Right. Let's see. Let's go over to. All right. We'll have to. We're happy to be reminded about that poem. We'll see if we can track it down, or check one of the poetry books or books of poems that we have at home. See if we can retrieve that. I think I still have an anthology as well with those poems. Let's check on those later. In the meantime, we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Here's another message. This one from Lloyd. Lloyd says, hello. Good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Good afternoon to Jamaica. Mr. Dervan, I just come from Terminal, Joliet, Illinois. Now getting load with Pepsi in West Street, Watertown, Wisconsin. Going to take it to Telegraph Road, Mobile, Alabama. Love always, Mr. Dervan. Hello to Uncle Radcliffe Lewis. You continue to be safe on those roads as you trek across the United States, Lloyd. All the best. Driver in America. And every time I see the name or I hear of Driver in America, I recall hearing how much money American truck drivers earn. For starters, listen to this. For starters, if you're just starting off as a truck driver, can you, well, don't bother guess because you can Google it perhaps. If you're just starting off as a truck driver in the United States, do you know how much money you'll be getting a year? 85,000 US dollars. 85,000 US dollars. Can you do the math? 12,750,000 Jamaican dollars. 12,750,000. I don't remember what rate I used. Did I use 150? I think I might have used 150 to 1 US. 80 for starters. So it means if you're a veteran, you're pulling down more than 85,000 US a year. And they deserve every cent. Because to be driving on icy roadways and all the perils that come with trekking across the United States, moving from state to state with different weather conditions and with all the other vagaries of being on the road and the possibility of being jumped by vagrants, etc. No, they deserve every cent. Anyway, let's go to Driver in America in terms of his message. He says, please re-emphasize Lieutenant Governor-elect Sears's chairing the committee for blacks to re-elect Trump. And that is her right. This is what I'm saying. I'm quite liberal when it comes on to these things. Every country has checks and balances as far as governance is concerned. We can always debate the effectiveness of the checks and balances. Let's come back to that point after the break.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock. Join Power 106 FM this Thursday, November 4, 2 to 3 p.m. for the closing ceremony of the 7th Regional Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction in the Americas and the Caribbean, under the theme, Building Resilient Economies in the Americas and the Caribbean. The conference is aimed at raising awareness of the challenges facing small island developing states of the Caribbean region and the wider Americas. This broadcast is brought to you by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, 85 Hagley Park Road, Kingston. Power Talk on Power 106 FM, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk, taking talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale on Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskell from Wednesday to Friday as they provide riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for innovative features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's the powerful pair, Dr. Herbert Gale and Simon Croskell on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays, right here on Power 106 FM.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:02. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:02. Hiện tại, TDN le 4:02 phân. 2 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. As we were saying, going to the break, in reference to Driver in America, saying, please re-emphasize Lieutenant Governor-elect Sears chairing the committee for blacks to re-elect Trump. And she is free so to do. That's the point we're making. And going to the break, we were talking about every country having systems of checks and balances as far as governance is concerned. And as I said, going to the break, we can always debate the nature and extent of those and effectiveness of those checks and balances. So it doesn't matter how despotic we think a leader is. At some point, that leader, some point or another, as my late mother would say, by the hook or by the crook, that individual is going to fall at some point or another. Whether through, let's just say, a natural process or the normal process where you vote in someone else and vote out that person, or if the holder of the office breaches certain fundamental principles, then we employ a level of probity and bring to bear on that situation the checks and balances. That's why we have the judiciary. That's why, in addition, in the case of the United States, you have the Senate and you have the Congress. Just as though we have the Senate and the Parliament. The lower house of Parliament, which is the House of Representatives, and the upper house, which is the Senate. So there, point out to us a leader who has been living forever. At some point, whether through an act of nature taking its course inside of us, health-wise, or an act of the people deciding to vote you out. So I don't get too excited or overly concerned or worried, because it will work itself out. And yes, you people might have to push the envelope, as they say, or people might have to agitate, apart from advocating, agitating for change and for certain things to end. That's people power. And the people have the power in their hands. And it cannot be that we agree on the rules of the game. Remember, every game has rules. And it's the same thing for systems and processes and governance and governments, etc., etc. There are rules, there are regulations, there are systems, there are protocols, there are processes. And so we have to, in recognizing that, we should know what steps we need to take. Because ultimately, no matter, as we always say, the pollsters can always poll, as you know, and conduct their surveys, and the commentators can always commentate and pontificate and prognosticate and all of these things. But in the final analysis, it boils down to what an individual does at any point in time, like election time. You could give them money wrapped up in shirt. You could give them curry goat, red stripe, Heineken, whatever. In the final analysis, as my late mother would say, is them alone and God when they go to vote. And so nobody, they can always come back and say, yeah, man, oh, yes, man, deal with your thing. You're good, man, you're good. And they didn't vote for you. They voted for somebody else, or they deliberately spoiled their ballot, not wanting to vote for either of the two major political parties. So people are free, and we can't be celebrating democracy and people's freedom of choice on the one hand, while on the other hand, if we don't like the other side, and it doesn't, yes, as I said earlier on, the person could be, the leader could be as despotic as ever. Rest assured, that individual is going to be dealt with one way or another, no matter how despotic. As my late mother would say, only good salvation lasts forever. Nothing or no one lasts forever. And at some point, that Humpty Dumpty is going to have a great fall. That's just it. Haven't we read the history of the world and seeing all that has happened and still happening right now? So these things have a way of working themselves out. And so, driver in America, I'll emphasize it and re-emphasize the sentence that you want me to emphasize and re-emphasize, because Winsome Sears is free to choose. She might very well not be a fan of Donald Trump, but for some reason or another, she's drawn to the Republican Party. Remember, both parties, both Republicans and Democrats, are known for taking certain positions. So what I'm looking for, if my position aligns with the economic policy of the Republicans, and that is my strong point, and that's what I champion, I am going to go with the Republicans for the sake of getting them to implement that economic plan, which is in line with what I think should be pursued. People have different reasons. There's a historical reason as well. It is known, to put it in a simple way as possible, that the Republicans were the ones who started, to put it simply, and it's not to be fooled around with, it's a serious thing, but to put it simply, to start free up black people in America. It's the Republicans who led that in the early days. So there are some people who are drawn to the Republican Party because of that historical piece. So people have the different reasons. There are people who you can't tell them anything at all that is negative about Michael Manley, because they worship Michael Manley. They revere Michael Manley. And there's a Jamaican expression that says, "Me no care what you want to say." So there's a set of people like that. And there's another set who just love Papa Eddie. And there's another set who just love Sister P. And there's another set who love Fresh Prince, PJ, and so on and so forth. So people have people have different reasons. There are those who are enamored with the footwear of the Prime Minister, and somehow the designation of bro God and all of that kind of thing. People find connections. They find things and reasons to connect. It's just the way of the world. But what the society, what the state must ensure, what the state apparatus must ensure, irrespective of what is happening, is that the governance structure is in place, because as we always say on this program, man must be protected from himself. Left to himself, man is perhaps the most destructive creature on the face of the earth. Man must be protected from himself. So we must have the checks and balances to protect man from going over the edge, from moving into a state of, So it is what it is. And I might not like who you support. That's fine. You support one party, I support another. And even if we can't agree, we can at least agree to disagree. And we don't need to fight. We don't need to fuss. We don't need to kill anybody. We just go about pursuing what we think is in our best interest as individuals for ourselves and our family. Right? So the animosity, we're not a part of that and will never ever be a part of that, because we have done some homework and we have an idea why things happen the way they do, how they happen the way they do. And the serenity prayer is another one which I really love, because it makes sense. It makes a whole lot of sense. It says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. There are just some things we can't change. There are some things we cannot change. We don't have the capacity or the wherewithal, the resources, the levity, etc., to be able to make that kind of change. It's just a fact of life. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15. The National Irrigation Commission Limited encourages efficient irrigation practices and responsible use of water. By doing so, we will allow the aquifer to be recharged and keep the supply flowing. A message from the National Irrigation Commission Limited. Irrigation, making the difference in agriculture.
Treat yourself to famous Jamaican jerk dishes at Sweetwood Jerk Joint. Succulent pork, chicken, and lamb, served with mouth-watering side dishes. Hellshire-style seafood. Fridays and Saturdays. Call 876-906-4854 or visit 78 Knutsford Boulevard, New Kingston. In a secured environment across from Emancipation Park. All COVID-19 protocols observed. Sweetwood Jerk Joint, the home of Jamaican jerk. Join Power 106 FM this Thursday, November 4, 2 to 3 p.m. for the closing ceremony of the 7th Regional Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction in the Americas and the Caribbean, on the theme, Building Resilient Economies in the Americas and the Caribbean. The conference is aimed at raising awareness of the challenges facing small island developing states of the Caribbean region and the wider Americas. This broadcast is brought to you by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, 85 Hagley Park Road, Kingston. Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call Wednesday evenings at 8 with Powering Your Health. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and this Wednesday, November 3, we'll discuss the basics of diabetes with Professor Errol Morrison. Learn what patients should know about their medication from Dr. Camille Wilson-Clark. Also tune in for an exciting, healthy conversation with Dr. Jackie as she reflects on the lessons learned from patients, family, and friends. Powering Your Health is brought to you by 6 West Medical, 6 West Street, Old Harbor, St. Catherine, P.A. Benjamin, a trusted name for over a century. The National Health Fund, your partner for healthy living. Jamaica Plumbing Supplies Limited, let's save water. Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Benson Pharmacy, 11 Main Street, A2, Old Harbor. And Daisy Health Technology, monitoring health to blossom. That's Powering Your Health, this Wednesday, November 3 at 8 p.m., only on Power 106 FM.
All world wars have ceased. Should you or anyone you know enough to say they feel as we and let all.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:18. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 4:18. 现在几点了？10点18分. 18 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now's a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. No, it's serious. I'm seeing children who are going back to school now, and it's obvious that they have had too much to eat. Serious. I've been observing them. We have to find creative ways, both at home and at school, creatively safe ways to get our children moving again. It's not good for them. It's not good for them and us. All of us are going to be impacted one way or another, or are being impacted. It is clear that COVID-19 has taken its toll. And remember, before COVID-19 on this program, over an extended period of time, we would make reference to obesity in Jamaica, and the fact that Jamaica, I don't remember where we were on the list, but at some point we were second only to the United States. Women in the United States, Jamaican women, in terms of obesity, yes, that was a few years ago. And then there was a study that was done that revealed a high level of childhood obesity. And now here we are because of COVID, and yes, we want to protect our children from the vagaries of the wider community, etc. And so we keep them in the house and they sit around what they call those games these days. Do they still use PlayStation? Yeah. Whatever happened to the Wii? Remember the Wii, where you could play tennis and whatever by motion, something, and all of that. But seriously, so they stay, they stay in, and usually when we stay home, generally as people, we eat down the place. It's just a fact of life. We're at home and we're watching something, and all of a sudden we feel peckish again, and we go onto the refrigerator, and we go and we take whether something to drink or something to eat, and we go sit down and we're watching again. And then after some time, yeah, it's a serious thing though. We need a program for that. Jamaica Moves. We need the safe edition. Jamaica Moves, the safe edition. I think they have something on TVJ, a couple of sessions with Jamaica Moves representatives in morning and afternoon, I think, working out. Yeah, we need to watch that. We need to watch that. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Brother Dervan. How's everything?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm happy you called because I didn't seal your situation. I was going to seal it by asking you, where is Donald Trump? No. Where is Donald Trump? Which in and of itself answers your well, not a question, but it effectively responds to your question.
Yeah, and great, because I want to, because I'm driving, I can't really think. So I say,
I understand. Yes.
And what I was going to say, Brother Dervan, the diplomat, but he's more than diplomat. Like when you show him both sides of the story, yes. And that is what you force us to do at times, to look at both sides. Because
I don't want, hold on, watch the word force. I have never forced anybody to do anything against their will.
No, I take that back. You remind us, to look at both. Yeah, bad choice of words.
Yes.
You remind, because as I said, the diplomat, and a diplomat would not force anybody to do anything.
Yeah.
But, and that is a cautionary tale in itself right here, to always stop and look. And like you said, and you quoted your mom a few times, bless her soul, and another thing, time longer than rope.
That's right.
So eventually.
Or eventually, some people might say eventually takes too long. So I prefer to say at some point or another, or sooner or later. At some point. Time. My favorite word is actually timing. which comes from the word time. My all-time favorite word is timing. Nothing beats timing. And my late mother would say, nothing happened before the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But and going back to down in the Hampton Roads region there, that is like the Republicans till them can't help themselves. So that's her constituency, and it's like of course she would more or less go in that direction.
So you expected her to win, or did you?
Yes. Brother Dervan, look at it. You see the other day in the general election, half of America vote for Trump.
Yes, 79 million.
Because we don't look. Yes. And so it is not. Hey, believe me, and people saw what happened, and we allowed Trump to hang around, and see, he still has some influence.
I don't know about that. I mean, all I know is that he is no longer there, which is a function. It's a function of how the system works. The system does work. We can always debate it, but it works.
Yeah, the effect, and it does, because thank God he's out of that office, irrespective of the fact that the effect of his being there still linger. Yes. And we pray, as over time it diminishes. Yeah. But Brother Dervan, it's a joke. I want to stop because look while when you were speaking in Spanish.
Yes.
It's a joke I want to share with you because about 2 weeks ago I was down on the Mexican border.
Yes.
And sometimes I can't just use the Power 106 app. I have to use some different app to try to pick up the station.
Yes.
And one of them that's most reliable, a lot of times is like other stations keep chipping in.
Mm-hmm.
So me hear all this Spanish, and I say, show them Spanish money and chipping. Now you don't know with your Spanish. I thought it was one of the Mexican radio stations. And when you finish, we say, wait, the Dervan as well. Because I was there saying the station keeps chipping in and I want to listen to my,
Yes.
But nonetheless, on that tip, how is, when I was a youth, and I think even in your generation, language being taught in the schools, and I suppose it still is, but how's the uptake? And you even spoke the other day of Mandarin and Cantonese and them things being offered at CXC level.
Yeah, I don't know of it at the CSEC or CX. Well, CXC is the organization. CSEC is the exam.
CSEC,
no,
right.
I don't know of it at that level just yet, at least not here in Jamaica as far as I'm aware. But I do know that the Chinese Benevolent Association, the CBA, has been offering classes in Mandarin for quite a number of years. And in fact, I have been the beneficiary of those classes at the Chinese Benevolent Association. We still teach Spanish and French in our schools. We still have a shortage of foreign language teachers. That's
what I was saying. It's like one of the soft skills, if I might call it that.
Yes.
A lot of our people could really benefit from, and you see how we international and Jamaica, where it's positioned. And even though we're not talking about the harbors and stuff like that we were a while back, Jamaica is still in that position to benefit from a globalized world.
Yes.
So, our people, and it's not like we can't. I just think, I just want.
No, man, our people good like that. I mean, we on our way to the airport and our accent changes right away.
Exactly. So, just like to see more, uptake in the languages and stuff like that because, it's something that we could really benefit from.
Absolutely. Agreed.
It's something we can market very well. So, I just pray, more people, start picking up on it. I have a little thing that I use in the truck here, what I call it, is a language program, working with it. Because I used to do it a while back, but I didn't, put it down. But I'm picking it up because it is a plus. It is a plus in the world that we live, to be able to speak different languages. And especially where Jamaica is located.
Yes, man, and it can blow people's minds as well. I remember being in China in 2017, and once I started, they were like, the Chinese, everybody gathered, very good.
Do a fly over, yeah, man.
Yes, man.
I heard a woman interviewing Highway last night, and she was doing it in Cantonese, and at the end of it, he said something, and she was like, "Oh, he's complimenting her Mandarin,
Yes, yes.
Because when you travel other places, man, if you know a little language, like right now, believe me, US is rapidly becoming bilingual.
Yes.
And it's like, and if you know a little bit and you go places and believe me, man, it's like a different way people deal with you, completely different way. But I just think it's something that Jamaica, it's something not going to cost us too much to develop that in our schools and make us that much more marketable in that regard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. My brother, continue to teach, and yes, and always reminding us it's two sides to the story. One love, brother Dervan.
Take care. All the best, driver in America. Yeah, I'd started going through the Serenity prayer earlier on saying that it's one of my favorite. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. That's key. To accept the things I cannot change. Courage to change the things I can. So it didn't say that if you can't change it, then so be it. There are some things we'd love to change, but for whatever reason, we cannot change it. So accept the things we cannot change, but there are things that we can change. So we need the courage. We need to develop the courage to change the things that we can. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
Join Power 106 FM this Thursday, November 4, 2 to 3 p.m. for the closing ceremony of the 7th Regional Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction in the Americas and the Caribbean, on the theme, Building Resilient Economies in the Americas and the Caribbean. The conference is aimed at raising awareness of the challenges facing small island developing states of the Caribbean region and the wider Americas. This broadcast is brought to you by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, 85 Hagley Park Road, Kingston.
This Saturday, Fame Frequency turns up the fitting with the ultimate workout party. It's Fame Frequency. Sweat, fete and sweat to the music. Mixed by King Dash, DJ Denver and DJ Roderick. Live from 9 p.m. to midnight on Fame 95 Hits, 92 FM and RETV. Online at One Spot Media and on Mixcloud at Fame Frequency. Get ready to party with me. Your Energizer buddy Jenny in our VIP Zoom Watch Yourself area. Fame Frequency Sweat Saturday, November 6th, powered by Smirnoff Vodka, the world's #1 vodka. You must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly. Grace Tropical Rhythm, the taste that makes you move. And by Courts, bringing value home.
It's the show that engages you with stimulating and intriguing discussions to spice up your night. It's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas, Mondays to Thursdays from 10 p.m. until midnight.
Hello.
Hello, Pastor.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Well, you may ask me a question. I may or may not answer.
Hear pertinent advice and share your thoughts on topical issues, relationship matters. Get the answers you need for your burning questions. It all comes together on Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas.
Look like she did love me to me. But me still, say, she pushed me out, so do my best anyway.
That's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas, keeping your company Mondays to Thursdays from 10 p.m. till midnight, right here on Power 106 FM.
Living in the positive,
Tune in every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. to midday for your legal corner with Dahlia Walker Huntington during Power Talk on Power 106 FM. You can call our numbers 876-922-4112-5. The text and WhatsApp line is 876-279-8598. You can also send an email at yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. Join Your Legal Corner for all matters in relation to immigration to the United States. Here Dahlia offer great legal advice on your immigration queries and concerns. Learn about the filing process, when to file, and how to prepare for the move. That's Your Legal Corner, 11:30 to midday, every Thursday right here on Power 106 FM.
Diaspora Check-In during both sides of the story is brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
Love's the key to peace. We'll break till all the worlds have ceased. Should you or anyone you know enough to say they feel as we.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:26. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:26. 现在地点了5:22分. 26 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to check in on this week's edition of Diaspora Check-In on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, brought to you by Western Union. And joining us now is, where do I start? In fact, I'm trying to remember, she rarely speaks with us on air, you know. I think so, yes. But she has been a champion, a true Jamaican champion of monumental proportions. For more than 20 years, she has given outstanding service to the Jamaican diaspora in the United States. She has served as information attaché for the Jamaica Information Service, JIS, in Miami, Florida, from 1999 to 2011, and has transitioned into the role of Community Relations Officer at the Jamaican Consulate in Miami, where she goes above and beyond serving Jamaicans in the southern USA and promoting Jamaica, the land of her birth. She is, as we said, what did we say? She's a national treasure. And she has recently received the Badge of Honor for Meritorious Service. She is Cheryl Winter. I bet you didn't know we were going to do that. I know. And you would not have had any of it had I told you. But we had to do that. Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Wonderful. Now, in the midst of all of that, I mean, you had your multiple messages and congratulatory letters, etc. But in all of that, you have still been working. You haven't stopped to take a vacation or anything like that. And so here you are again now, playing your part in ensuring that this weekend's major event goes very well. And our listeners need to know that coming up on Sunday, the 7th of November, that's Sunday coming, the Jamaica Diaspora Honors and Awards virtual ceremony will take place. That's Sunday at 5. What a lovely time for such a program. And we'll be on the same time, by the way. We'll be on the same time as of 2 a.m. Sunday, correct?
Okay, that's true. I
Yes.
forgot about that.
Yes, daylight
Yeah,
saving
because
time.
it's getting daylight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's at 7th this Sunday at 5 p.m.
Mhm.
And it's a virtual program, so we're going to be on social media platforms, Jamaicans.com, and of course the consulate's Facebook page, Conja in Miami.
Hmm. And is this? Give us the background. Is this the first time that the Consulate General in Miami, Florida, is hosting an honors awards virtual ceremony?
No, it's virtually, yes, because of course we've been hit by COVID,
Yes.
but that has not stopped us. This Consul General actually, this is his first time doing it in this manner, but we had to kind of come out of the COVID mode for a while. We're being careful. We're doing it virtual, but still doing it officially so that people can feel publicly recognized. We've been doing it since 2003, I think. We've been doing the awards program.
Yes. And how?
So this is just
sorry, go
COVID
ahead.
break.
Mhm. Yes.
It was just a COVID break that we got.
Got you.
We've been doing it.
So it must be quite tough, though. Who? How are you able to? There are so many Jamaicans in the diaspora doing remarkable work. How do you? Yeah. How do you choose?
Well, you know what happened? We send out a nomination sheet in about a month, 2 months before, asking people to nominate persons. The response sometimes is that for the numbers that we get, we thought we would have gotten more, and this has been going on forever. It's just like the national honors. We send out the national honors, and people hardly respond, and then they wonder why, John Brown didn't get an award. He didn't respond.
Right.
So we've been trying, and we got some this year. So we were able to choose the 12 best ones or the 12 better ones.
Yes.
And in different categories, various categories. And the categories include public service, faith and religious leadership, cultural arts, which is the hardest one because we have to break it down in 3 areas. So the media, entertainment, and culture.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have business leadership, we have youth excellence or youth leadership, we have education, we have philanthropy and social services. And, the Consul General gets a chance to select somebody who has done outstanding. I mean, more than go beyond the norm. And that person gets the Special Merit Award. Then we give one to a business, a company who has extended themselves. We've been working very well with the corporate entities. So this year is going to Grace Kennedy, of course. And they're actually celebrating 100 next year. So it's a big deal for them to move into next year. And then we do one for a community support group. So from those areas, we're able to select 12. This year we're doing 12. Some Consul Generals have done less, or some have done more, just depending on who is at the helm at the time.
Yes, understood. How are you able to do this? It's just the usual. I mean, virtual. The event being virtual, notwithstanding, you still have costs to deal with one way or
we
another.
get sponsorship. Actually, this year Victoria Mutual is one of our sponsors.
Oh, good.
Or the sponsor. They're the main sponsors. We're very grateful for that. We've had support from other groups like Tourist Board, who has been a faithful supporter as well. And then you have the business groups like the food companies. Some of them have stepped up, not necessarily for this event, but certainly Grace Kennedy would have been one, but we didn't want to beg them since we're supporting them. But Victoria Mutual stepped up this time, so we're grateful for that.
That's very good. So, go ahead.
Those are some of the reasons why we have to award these people, because they've been good, faithful servants.
Yes.
So we have to look out for them. And some of them are unsung heroes, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these people you've never heard. I mean, I've been looking at the responses I've gotten since I've started pushing it out to the public. And some people are happy about the selections we made, and so I feel good. I feel we did a good job. We had a committee that we met with, and they helped us. We kind of pull people in from the outside and have them
go through all the sheets and make the choices. And they've come up with some good selections. And sometimes, of course, the Council General has the final say, but he was agreeable with the choices that were made.
Right.
I can, if you want, I can just briefly run through the names.
Sure.
We have for public service, that was Andrew Adams of the Jamaica Foundation of Houston, who has been a long-standing member of the Houston community, and he's now actually an advisor to the foundation because he has been around for years. And who knows better than the soldier who has been hanging around for the longest time? Faith and religious leadership was to Pastor Robert Stewart, and he's the senior pastor at Pentecostal Tabernacle in Miami. And I tell you, he has been so supportive of us, and even more during COVID. He was the one who loaned us his bus. He gave us food. He came out. He drove the bus to the airport. This was the time when we were having the worst time during COVID last year, when people were stranded because the borders were closed.
Yes.
And we had in South Florida alone over 2,000 people in the southern U.S., not South Florida alone. Mm-hmm. And we had to, Dervan, I'm sure you've heard this story so many times. We've never had this experience, looking after all these persons, finding food and accommodation for them, and doctors, and everybody stepped in, and we were very grateful for that. But Pastor Stewart loaned us his bus, loaned us the church, gave us food, and not only did he do all of that, he came out himself and joined us in the process. So that's not why we're awarding him, but that clearly tells you the kind of person he is.
Yes.
Then the cultural arts group, there's a woman called Audrey Joy Anderson, and she's a member of the Louise Bennett Cultural Heritage Council, Louise Bennett Coverley Heritage Council. And I tell you, she is a stalwart, and they're all stalwarts, but she is like the person who decided that we need to celebrate independence every year.
Mm-hmm.
So she started the independence service here. She started everything on the independence.
One moment, Ms. Winter. We just need to take a break. Bear with us, please, listeners.
I will.
We are happy, as usual, to have Cheryl Winter on with us, a Jamaican mover and shaker in South Florida, working out of the Consulate General in Miami, Florida.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45. Join Power 106 FM this Thursday, November 4, 2 to 3 p.m. for the closing ceremony of the 7th Regional Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction in the Americas and the Caribbean, on the theme, Building Resilient Economies in the Americas and the Caribbean. The conference is aimed at raising awareness of the challenges facing small island developing states of the Caribbean region and the wider Americas. This broadcast is brought to you by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, 85 Hagley Park Road, Kingston. The following is a public service announcement from Power 106 FM. Jamaica. Each wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, with the added danger of variants, has brought unprecedented pressure on public resources. Our hospitals and healthcare workers at breaking point. Our economy battered, families in mourning, and our children face an uncertain future due to learning loss. In this race against COVID-19, we must stay in it to win it. We must continue using techniques that can help to beat the virus. Follow COVID-19 mitigation measures, including wearing masks, sanitizing, 6 feet of physical distance from others. And on this leg of our relay, we can win with vaccination. These safe and proven vaccines can make the difference against COVID-19. And now that vaccines are in supply, let's get vaccinated so we can get back on track and keep winning. The finish line against COVID-19 is in sight. And with true Jamaican determination, we can all have the victory. Brought to you by your friends at Power 106 FM.
So we ain't giving up now. We put up a fight. We got to be ready. Cause time's getting traded. Just said, don't you worry till it's present.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5 menos 13. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5 heures moins 13. 现在7点了，5点加13分。13 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? We can tell you our guest has been super productive for more than 20 years and counting as far as service to Jamaica is concerned. She is Community Relations Officer at Jamaica's Consulate General in Miami, Florida. And she has been giving us a preview of an upcoming event, a very significant upcoming event for Jamaicans in the southern United States. It takes place on Sunday afternoon at 5 and will be on the same time on Sunday because the clocks will be rolled back by an hour, especially in the Eastern time, and will be on the same time here in Jamaica. So it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon Sunday. It's a beautiful time to host an event, a Sunday afternoon at 5, an event of this nature, and it should be great. Our Oliver Mayer, Consul General at the Consulate General of Jamaica in Miami, Florida, is of course the man at the helm and leading his team and being supported by his team, hosting this Jamaica Diaspora Honors and Awards virtual ceremony. Victoria Mutual, VMBS, major supporters, major sponsors of this year's event. Cheryl Winter, thanks for holding. You were going through the
I'm
list.
going to run through because I realized time is against us. So I was at the business leadership that's going to. Oh, I was telling you that Audrey Anderson has been the person at the helm of independence celebrations in Florida in terms of the formalizing of the church service and all the little exhibitions that happen around the consulate. She just volunteered, and it, of course, we've been going on with that since in the 70s. Mm-hmm. So thanks to her. So she's getting the award for the cultural award this year, along with Xavier Murphy. He's getting the media award.
Oh yes.
For, of course, everybody knows Xavier Murphy. He has been the person, the champion behind Jamaicans.com, which has put Jamaica on a totally different level on global stage. So kudos to him. Business leadership with Patrick Charfong. He's one of the principals of Kingston Miami Trading.
Yes.
Yeah, food, all the good food. And has grown. His business has, of course, grown. Beyond how we can put another area in which we've been able to put Jamaica on the map. Mm-hmm. Healthcare, of course, goes to Dr. Yvonne Smith. She is one of the members of the Atlanta Montego Bay Sister Cities Committee, mm-hmm. and they've been doing a tremendous job doing stuff locally here and doing a lot of partnerships in Jamaica in terms of health. And now they've also gone over into the digital device program. Yes. So they've been around for a while too, and Dr. Smith is an integral part of the group. Then we have youth excellence, which is going to Brianna Williams. I mean, you all know who
Brianna Williams. Brianna, the champion athlete, yes.
And then education is to Dr. Pauline Jolly. She's founder and past president of Central Alabama. Can you believe that? They responded. Alabama Caribbean American Organization. Then we have philanthropy and social services to Bruce Palmer, who is the president of JURA, Jamaica United Relief Organization.
Yes.
That's a charitable group here. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the special community honor is going to Andrea Dixon. She's a registered nurse, but Andrea has done an outstanding job as a philanthropist and humanitarian. So those are those awards. And the two community awards, one is going to the Louise Bennett Coverley Heritage Council for their contribution to Jamaica's rich cultural heritage in the diaspora. And of course, you know them. They've done great work with the Edna Manley Foundation in Jamaica. Not Edna Manley. They have a scholarship at the Edna Manley School in Jamaica.
Yes.
Yeah, and they've been supportive of a lot of events down in Jamaica as well around Louise Bennett. And Grace Kennedy, of course, like I said, as a corporate community partner.
Great.
So those are the awards this year, and thanks to Victoria Mutual for being our sponsor. And this program, Dervan, is continuing the tradition of recognizing Jamaicans in the diaspora who have positively impacted their community. And it has been a program, like I said, that has been going on, and we're recognizing the awardees for contributing directly to Jamaica's national development and the goals, as well as the diaspora communities in which they reside. And they have positively impacted the local and the wider international communities. So it is important that we highlight these persons, because they're not doing it out of getting a paycheck.
True.
This is all voluntary work, charitable work, love of country, love of serving country abroad.
Yes.
So this is our way of saying thank you to them and giving them, a little camera treat.
Absolutely. I like the way you put it.
Because we're doing it virtual, it makes a big difference, because the world will get to see them.
Yeah.
Versus sitting in a hall and having a glass of wine and going up to the table. Virtual this time is telling the whole world that John Brown deserves an award for what he has been doing.
Excellent. And
we thank people like you who step up and have supported us all along, and continue to do so. And
Yeah, well, I always say, Cheryl Winter, you're the ones doing the heavy work, the heavy lifting. You're the ones doing the heavy lifting. I'm just happy to be able to share your work with Jamaica and Jamaicans at home and abroad, with sharing your work.
Yes, and when you come up here, I have a whole list of people for you to talk with, so you can hear more about.
I can't wait.
Hear more about this side of the diaspora.
Can't wait. We'll talk some more about that, and we look forward to joining you next
Colin
week.
Smith, who should have been on this evening, he's actually the president of the Louise Bennett Covalence. It's a long thing.
Yes.
Council.
Yes.
So he will be accepting the award on their behalf, members of their behalf, and I'm also a member of that group as well. So
Wonderful. It's been a pleasure as usual, and we want to encourage our listeners and viewers at home and abroad to check out the live streaming of the Jamaica Diaspora Honors and Awards virtual ceremony, which takes place on Sunday, the 7th of November, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's no time difference. As of 2 a.m. Sunday, we're on the same time, 5 p.m. Jamaica time, 5 p.m. Florida time. And
Jamaicans.com and on the Congen Miami Facebook page.
Right.
And it's free. Dress up with a glass of wine and also your pot covers. And there'll be entertainment.
Yes.
There'll be little entertainment. So
Good.
we're going to have a good time.
Well,
right?
looking forward to checking in on Sunday afternoon at 5 to the Jamaica Diaspora Honors and Awards virtual ceremony on Sunday, the 7th of November. Thanks a lot, Cheryl Winter. All the very best.
Thank you, and see you soon.
See you soon, for sure. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye there.
All the best. That's Community Relations Officer at the Jamaican Consulate in Miami, Florida, Cheryl Winter. More than 20 years of service, and relatively recently recognized with a badge of honor for meritorious service. Well done, Cheryl Winter. Well done. Look at the time. Can we quickly clear a few messages before we have to wrap? H. Morgan in Birmingham has a lot to say. He says, Mr. Malcolm, good afternoon. I was reading in the newspaper today where a man who is an electrician in the Portmore area put up a camera at his house. The report states that he was told some time ago by gunmen to take it down, and because he did not take it down, they shot him. As a result of his injuries, he died. What kind of them brighty? My late mother would say, what a piece of outer orderness. What a piece of outer orderness. I'm sorry the camera had to be so visible. I'm sorry, because we know the technology exists where you can set the camera without anyone knowing, unless of course people were gathered around when you were setting it up. but there are creative ways in which to set it up so that you could have caught the perpetrator. You could have seen who would have who was trespassing on your property, etc. What a piece of outer orderness, and kill off the man. These we have to find a way to ensure that justice is served, and the people in the community who know who was telling the man to take down the camera and all of that, and whatever other evidence can be gathered, please. What a piece of outer orderness. H. Morgan says that man put up his camera to protect his property, yet someone who is hell-bent on committing a crime telling this man to take his camera down from his property. He's not free to do what he wants to do on his own property to protect himself, asks H. Morgan in Birmingham. Thank you, H. Morgan, the circumstances notwithstanding. This one says, Sir Malcolm, good afternoon. Please tell the family in the diaspora to help a child by donating. Well, we need to check we need to follow up on this situation here. Yeah, we'll follow up on it. And what time is it? Oh dear, we're almost out of time. Nordia in Manchester, you know what? We're out of time. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Wednesday, the 3rd of November, 2021. Let's wrap today's edition of Diaspora Check-In first.
Diaspora Check-In during Both Sides of the Story was brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.
Good afternoon, I am Dervan Gordon. Coming up in the news segment of Beyond the Headlines today, Wednesday, November 3, 2021.